Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Wow. What a wonderful, wonderful reception. Thank you, Tully Friedman. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have such a good friend and someone who I've had such wonderful conversations with long before either one of us knew we would be doing this, to have that kind of support and give that kind of statement about me. If you don't know Tully, you will learn that when you see a good cause, one of the things that we believe in so fundamentally, you'll probably see Tully Friedman connected with it, including the American Enterprise Institute and other things. Well, welcome to D.C. Those of you are coming in from out of town, I understand probably most of you, some of you maybe even your first time. I remember my first time here, a new member of the United States Senate, but you make mistakes, you know, right off the bat. I mean, one day I accidentally spent some of my own money, but I quickly recovered, and nowadays you got to add just joking, you know, to that, I've learned. But I'm glad to be talking to folks who I know what they want to talk about. I remember one of those early days. I guess I made my first speech on the Senate floor. We were introducing a bill that would require Congress to live under the same laws as everybody else. It was a pretty novel concept at the time, and still is. Well, we got it passed, but I'd given my maiden speech, you know, and kind of proud of myself and feeling good, and of course there wasn't hardly anybody around, you know, to listen to it, but one old gentleman, I won't call his name, had been there for some time, sat there and listened to it. And I finished, he came over and said, "Fred," said, good speech. I said, "Well, thank you, sir." He said, "I just have one question." I said, "Yeah? What is that?" Had my little Constitution in my breast pocket, ready to go. He said, "Was that a real submarine y'all used in Hunt for Red October?" So I got a sense right off the bat of what the priorities were around there as far as I was concerned. But hopefully things have changed a little bit. Americans for Prosperity. As John Wayne used to say, I like the sound of the word, because prosperity is the second theme of mine. On my bumper strips and on my posters, I put security, prosperity, and unity. And security and prosperity, of course, are really two sides of the same coin. The question is whether or not we're going to be willing to do the things that are necessary to maintain the prosperity we've got and ensure it in the future. I think over the next few years, we're going to be faced with decisions, and there are going to be things on the next president's plate that will determine the course of this country for many years to come. I think we're at a crossroads in many respects. We know that the Democratic leadership and those who would have the Democratic nomination want to lead us down the road of more government and more taxes and more spending. We see that they operate under the proposition that now that people have learned that they got the keys to the Treasury, that they ought to have at it and have everything that they want, and leading us toward the economy example of Western Europe that's worked so well for them. Ironically, just at a time when some Western Europeans are looking more toward the things that made us a great nation. At least, my friends, I think the lines are clear. I think the lines for this next election are going to be very starkly drawn between us and them with regard to those basic philosophies as to what is going to be best for the economic prosperity of this country in the future. But it's not enough for us to know here around Washington that, you know, we've got the right ideas, or anywhere else in this country, or that we've got good policies, or we're going to get together and have a good time every once in a while and talk about things that we believe in. We got to make our case to the American people. I'm reminded in 1994, we were kind of down in the dumps a little bit as a party. Bill Clinton had kicked us pretty good. The things didn't look too rosy. When I decided that I wanted to step up, never having run for political office before, I did so starting 20 points down. Stayed that way for a good while, running against a popular incumbent down in Tennessee, which was a state that Bill Clinton carried twice. But we sensed that there was something going on in the country, I and those like me around the country who were running that year, and we took our case to them. We talked about first principles, the things that made this country great, things that are eternal truths, things that don't change with the changing of the times. We talked about the fact that we got our Declaration of Independence from that, and the system of government that we have, where power is divided, not only at the federal level, but between the federal and the state level. It's called federalism. It's based on the proposition that not all solutions are found in Washington, D.C. It's also based on the notion that a government powerful enough to give everything to you is powerful enough to take anything away from you. All based upon the concept of freedom. All designed to achieve freedom, individual freedom, political freedom, and economic freedom. And the fact that all those things really go together. You can't really have one or two of them. You got to have all three of them together. And we believed and talked about then the necessity for government to be strong enough to protect us, competent enough to do basic government things that government ought to be doing, but limited according to the delineated powers found in the Constitution. Those are the things we talked about, and we based our issues upon those principles. We talked about the rule of law and how important it is to have judges who apply the law and the Constitution and not make it up as they go along, as so often it happens. We talked about the importance of lower taxes and a market economy and competition among free people and a free marketplace, innovation, new ideas, competition with foreign countries, trade, doing the things that made this country great, and not only made for the most prosperous nation in the history of the world, but served as an example to any other country, large or small, who followed that example and how they would get the same results. And it's happened time and time again around the world. Now, I've got this complex economic philosophy that I want to try out on you. It's kind of convoluted, so follow me a little bit. Let's keep doing the things that work and quit doing the things that don't work in this economy. Lower taxes and tax rates that encourage people to get out and work and invest and do the things we say that we want them to do works. It's been proven time and time again. The administration came into office, the recessionary phase was on the way. Then we had the dot-com bubble burst. Then we had the Wall Street scandals. Then we had September 11. All things that could really, really hurt an economy.